And welcome back to halftime here on Brew Sports. Great to have you back inside the studios with us as we roll along with the program. I am Baxter Colburn.
And I am Tanner Burke, of course.
Of course. Who else would you be?
I don't know.
Aaron Rodgers.
Ask me tomorrow. Yes, Aaron
Maybe
Rodgers.
that's who you are. You're Aaron Rodgers. The mystery has officially been solved for those of you that didn't know. The reason for the Packers' decline has been because it's been Tanner Burke that was actually on the field while Aaron Rodgers was busy.
I did okay, though. I did okay.
I mean, you almost took him to a Super Bowl.
I didn't take his money, but I did okay.
Yeah, not bad.
Okay, a couple Hail Mary passes.
Yeah, you gave the people something what they love.
I got the arm. That's about it.
Something to love.
The dad bod didn't hold up though.
Maybe next year.
Aaron's going to be back next season.
We love Aaron. Go, Aaron. All right, back here at it, talking about the Masters. I'm Baxter Colburn. That's Tanner Burke. We got Christian Heimall here joining us as well, too. Christian, day one of the Masters in the books. And, of course, now the man that many folks were excited to talk about was Charlie Hoffman. But now he has started to play his second round of action. But how are things looking now during day two of the Masters?
Now, in regards to the leaderboard, of course, there's always some names up there that people aren't necessarily going to be familiar with. You got the guys like Phil Mickelson, Ricky Fowler, who I love, and I think it's only a matter of time before we see him get a major tournament, hopefully a Masters. But Rory McIlroy as well, who started at even at the end of the day yesterday, luckily, and then, like you said, he's 1 under right now. Even Thomas Pieters at even at one point yesterday. I mean, he was 5 under after 10 holes, which is amazing to do at Augusta. And Augusta is not an easy course. It's not a long course. But with the wind and everything going on down there right now, it's unpredictable. And, I mean, it's a long weekend, and there's a lot of things that can happen. So, like you said, Charlie Hoffman only a couple strokes back right now, so it's going to be interesting. But what do you think of some of the main guys like Phil Mickelson and Ricky Fowler and Rory McIlroy maybe making a run for it this weekend?
I needed you to keep talking. I needed you to keep talking because they can't hear you. No. So I was like, I need you to keep talking. It's fine. I was trying to.
So in regards to, the weekend as a whole, the vast history of the tournament and what it means to each player. I mean, I've seen guys come in and out, and I mean, we've seen guys like Rory McIlroy lead and then blow a significant lead on the final day. So that's why I never really buy too much into who the leader is. I mean, last year or a couple years ago when Jordan Spieth won, he was the, beginning to end leader, the wire-to-wire leader. It's not easy to do, but for guys like Hoffman and Thomas Pieters to do what he did yesterday, that's almost a victory for some of these guys for themselves. I mean, it's not an easy thing to do. It's a tough tournament. There's a lot going on, and I mean, it's exciting to say the least. But is there one guy in particular that you're hoping to see something from, or if maybe there's somebody out there that's a wild card or a dark horse that you think will surprise today, tomorrow, or Sunday?
I do think Thomas Pieters is going to be there throughout the weekend. He's one of the top players out of Europe. He's very strong, very talented. And you're right, it's rare to see what Jordan Spieth did. In fact, I'm pretty sure he was the first to lead wire-to-wire at Augusta since Tiger did it in the early 2000s. But Thomas is very talented. He's got great ball striking ability. And again, if you can keep the ball low at Augusta, it makes a world of difference. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, a guy that I'm going to be rooting for, as I think everybody has been since he jumped onto the scene and since Tiger really kind of took over golf, is Sergio Garcia. He's right there right now. He always seems to be so close. Has yet to win a major, and when Phil finally won his first major championship and won the green jacket, all eyes turned to Sergio and said, "Okay, when are you going to do it?" And I can still remember a young Garcia, a tremendous shot on 18 at Augusta, running up the hill, running up the fairway, leaping. So excited with his shot. I'm still pulling out hope for Sergio to be in that final mix come Sunday, but he and Thomas Pieters are probably the two guys that are you say dark horses only because you haven't really heard of Thomas Pieters until this week, and Sergio has never been there before. But think about this. This is the biggest tournament in golf, and it's so early in their season. Imagine playing the NFC Championship game in week 2 as opposed to playing it in February. It's so much
more
tougher.
Interesting, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
It would be, but I mean, that's just it's the mental pressure. Golf is such a mental game. And if you have even a little bit of issue or a little bit of struggle, it's going to bog down on you so much more than a team sport just because it's only you out there.
Believe me, I know that all too well. I played golf in high school with my brother, and I was the worst person when it came to getting inside my own head. And I know everybody always says golf is the only sport where you can only blame yourself.
Mental
you can
game,
blame the dogs barking in the background, but you can literally only blame yourself. But Christian, in regards to this weekend and closing out the Masters, what is one thing that you're looking forward to? What's your favorite part about the Masters? And where can people find you on the social media universe?
The best thing about this weekend is just how beautiful that golf course looks on TV. I mean, that's it. Unless you've been there, you can't really see exactly how beautiful it is. But when you watch it on TV, it's so amazingly kept and so tremendously shown that it literally looks like a fantasy land. And I've been once when I was incredibly young. I was born just outside of Augusta National. Apparently was there when I was less than a year old. I don't ever remember it, but
obviously,
I've been told just when you turn down that lane and you go down it transports you back to a different time in golf and in the world, and it's tremendous to see. I'm so excited to just watch it play out throughout the weekend, and I really do think the ones that overcome the mental. If Jordan Spieth can overcome the mental aspect of what he struggled through yesterday and be able to really compete, it's going to be tough because as soon as Jordan gets up there, or Rory or Ricky or Phil even gets up there, all these other guys, Sergio and the likes who have never done it before, they're going to sit there and go, uh-oh, not again. So it's all about mental strength, mental toughness, and I've picked Rory yesterday, and I'm going to stick with him throughout. I think he's got a really good shot at winning and putting on that green jacket Sunday night.
Well, I'll stick with that, too. I think Rory has a chip on his shoulder when it comes to the Masters. He's been close a couple times and hasn't been able to get over that hump. And then I'll keep an eye on.
I feel like this is the year.
It's possible.
You heard it here first.
He's played decent. He's played bad so far the last, with yesterday and going into today. But I'll keep an eye on some of the other guys. I love the Rory McIlroy, Ricky Fowler, Jordan Spieth, kind of young tandem rivalry.
And this is what's great for golf. These young guys are what's great. Everybody talked about when Tiger was hurt. This is bad for golf. No, Tiger not being in it is great for golf because it shows you what the future is going to be. And these
100%.
young guys, even Dustin Johnson, even though he's not in it, the world #1, look at Jason Duffner. Look at Jason Day. Those guys are tremendous golfers. The young talent is there. Golf is in great hands, even without a name like Tiger.
I agree completely, and we'll see what happens with Tiger. I don't know if he'll ever be up
Looking
there
forward
again,
to it, yeah.
Christian, of course, it's always great to talk with you, and we're happy to make it work out today. Best of luck to your Rory McIlroy and my Ricky Fowler, and where can people find you on the social media universe, of course, as always?
Check me out on Twitter at Chris Heimall. I'll be following all along. I've actually got it on right now, and just love watching this. Golf is back, and it's a lot of fun.
It is. Well, thank you very much for joining again, my friend. It's always a pleasure.
Take care, guys. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you as well.
Too.
There goes Christian Heimall here on halftime when he was like, yeah, you guys can catch me. I was like, we'll cash you outside.
We'll cash you outside on
How
Twitter.
about that, Christian?
Cash me on the Twitter.
And then when you were like, I'm glad we could make out today, I was like, is that what you and Christian were doing? Like when you were like, we're glad we could make it out today, I was like, oh.
Well,
I mean, if it's that kind of party.
Halftime is a party, nonetheless.
Ain't no party like a halftime party because a halftime party don't stop.
He brings up a good point about Tiger Woods, though, in regards to Tiger not playing is good for golf because it brings attention to the future of the sport.
True.
And you can't – it's almost like sticking around with an ex-girlfriend just because you don't want it to end. You're hanging out with the past, you know what I mean? Tiger's never going to be a Tiger again. So to fantasize about that is just stupid and ignorant. He's never going to be that Tiger Woods again. And when he does play in a tournament like this, it does take away from some of the other guys because there are guys like, Peters or Hoffman who are doing things that aren't going to get as much credit because the camera's on Tiger Woods, who's currently 6 over, hypothetically, you know what I mean? So I agree with him. I'm fine with Tiger playing other tournaments, but if he's not in golf shape, he should not be in a tournament like this. So I'm glad that I agree with him. Tiger not
no
being
Tiger
on the
Woods,
sport
no
is,
Dustin Johnson, both with similar issues. Basically, I mean, it makes you wonder. I guess. I mean, how will this Masters be remembered? Will it be remembered for the players that weren't, or will it be remembered for the players that were?
Well, it's a good question, and we'll only have to wait and see. But we have two other topics we want to cover before the end of the show today.
That is true. We do. We certainly do. I mean, if anybody has been even remotely close to any sort of device, within the last 36, not even 36, last 12 hours, 18 hours, basically.
Got it like last night as I was laying in bed.
You may or may not have heard about a man named Tim.
Who's Tim?
Timothy is what some people might call him.
Timothy Tebow?
Timothy Tebow jacked a 2-run homer. I mean, I don't even know if you want to say he jacked it. He hit it off the top of the fence, I think,
Did he really?
Bounced back in. I mean, it was hard to tell exactly, but I was hoping for a little bit more pomp and circumstance.
Well, who better to talk about this with than Timothy Tebow's biggest fan?
Is it his biggest fan or is it his future
I
wife?
don't know, but I'll tell you what, she's the greatest.
She is.
She's great.
We love her.
She's the greatest.
It's Jessica Kleinschmidt. She's back here for a brief visit. Jessica, a very good day to you. How are you and Tim doing this morning?
I'm doing great. I don't know how Timothy Tebow is doing today, though.
It's Tebow, by the way. Tebow. It's
Italian. Tebow. Okay.
Timothy Tebow. But
I'm starting to get a reputation of the Tebow girl around the industry. So
we don't need to do that if you're not welcoming it.
I've been called way worse though. Been called way worse, mainly behind my back, but it's fine.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
that chair looks pretty close to the door, so I don't know how much room there is for name calling back there. I guess behind her back.
Well, I mean, what are you gonna do? But what do you make of Timothy Tebow's 2-run homer? And obviously I care. I almost bought a jersey today. Apparently they're not too expensive. I actually was looking
at Firefly jersey, $75 on their website, $25 for a T-shirt.
It would be funny to have a Tim Tebow jersey signed, like a baseball jersey, and just have that in my man cave next to signed Brett Favre, signed Tom Brady, Tim Tebow baseball jersey. You know what I mean?
For 1A.
Like,
I mean, it's a troll move, but I don't hate it. I even asked this week, I was on a podcast, we were talking about like the types of jerseys you would purchase. And I was like, what about Tim Tebow? And he was like, no. Great troll move. I think it's great. Why not? I mean, it's something that's going to go down in history, a funny little thing. Same thing. We always bring up Michael Jordan and Garth Brooks and all these other guys who.
Garth Brooks.
Wait, Garth Brooks played baseball?
Whoa.
Time out. Hold on. That's not a professional athlete. He's a professional
Can't just be dropping
musician.
Mr. Brooks like you know him.
How did I not know this?
It was another. I know everyone, guys. Like, hello. I'm like the Tebow girl. I know everything.
Obviously.
He lets me call him G, so that's what I
He lets me call him G. He's my G.
This is my bro, G Brooks.
That's great.
But
That's
seriously,
great.
though, Garth Brooks played baseball? When did this happen?
It's kind of like, I don't remember if it was, I think it was another publicity stunt kind of scenario, but he got signed and everything, and people kept making jokes that Garth Brooks was actually better at baseball than Tim Tebow, but that obviously happened.
Oh my
gosh.
So
yeah, everybody kind of did their thing. I think it's great. He is just going out there and playing and treating the players in the clubhouse amazing. He's treating them to food, and if you know how much these players do not make, that's actually great. He's actually taking them to movies and buying them movie tickets and paying for dinners and stuff like that, treating them like a king. And it's kind of cool to know he got all that money out of that signing bonus. It's actually going back into these kids. And if you really want to know about how much these kids are not making, there's a huge lawsuit going out. I really suggest people looking into it. And he's, obviously he's an athlete, and I don't want to take that away from him. I really don't. And I think what he did on his debut was phenomenal. He didn't even know he had a bomb. If you watch the footage, he just got to second. And he was like,
wait, did I actually do that? What?
Did I do it? All right.
Yeah. So it's, I think it's great. He's bringing a lot of attendance into the games, and I wish people would look more towards that. I think the dust has settled. It's no longer, it's BS. It's kind of like, you know what? He's bringing so much more positivity to this game, so much more attention to this game. You guys know me. I'm a minor league baseball girl. I love the rookies. I love the prospects. I will do anything for those kids. And the fact that he's actually coming out and trying to help bring more attention to that is wonderful. And I think this may even help the scenario of getting these minor league ball players to get more money and actually help them live. So that's wonderful.
Well, that's the big thing with Tim Tebow. I mean, say what you will about how he does on the field, but it's his character off the field that I think is why so many people love to hate him, but hate to, admit that they love him at the same time. And we've had this debate as well about Tom Brady as well. Yeah, say what you will about him on the field, but off the field, Tom Brady, Tim Tebow, and numerous other guys are probably some of the nicest ones you'd ever want. Jessica those would be the guys you'd want to take home to meet mom and dad, basically, sort of a thing, because it's like, you're actually a really good guy. I just don't always like what you do on the field, but like off the field, you're just the nicest guy. And I think Tim is setting a big example for these guys that are still young, as you mentioned, Jess, to, this is how you treat others with respect. This is how this is how you become a good friend to people as well.
Yeah, I mean, at that age, the kids are still humble. And, I work with the AAA affiliate here in Reno, and I get so lucky when I meet a guy who is just willing to talk to me, is super nice. Because at AAA, a lot of times they're miserable, right? They haven't gotten promoted, or they just got demoted. But a lot of times I'll get the diamonds in the rough who are super sweet to me, or super respectful, and I will cheer for them until I'm blue in the face, and I will fight for anything for them if they're respectful to me and they're super nice. And I think he can actually bring that into it. He's been so humble to the media and everything like that. And I think that once we kind of let that die down, actually let him play, he even said himself, like, there's nothing but positivities that are going to come out of this. And then the fact that he did hit a bomb in his, first at bat. Of course, everybody's like, or first outing, people are like, oh, well, it was just high A or class A advanced or whatever it was with the Fireflies. And it's like, I couldn't do it. So I wish people would just back off a little bit. So
now, Jessica, I don't know if you've heard, but Yadier Molina causing some issues and some controversy and some laughs all around the league. Yadier
if you
Molina
follow
getting
me on social media, you would know that I covered that story.
Well, I do.
Gosh,
I'm just saying.
Gosh,
Sorry,
it's like you don't even care about her.
I want to get your opinion on it live on the air here. It's Yadier Molina. Possibly, maybe using some materials on his chest protector. I couldn't think of a physical way that this ball could get stuck to his chest protector.
The force.
Without some kind of extra substance, at least encouraging it to do so. So what do you think about that? Did you laugh at least when you saw it? Did you LOL out loud? And, what's your opinion on
are you
that?
more of a raffle?
Are you more of a raffle?
I'm an LMAO girl.
LMAO makes sense.
LMFAO if alcohol is involved.
Yes, there you go.
Aren't we all?
Yes. I actually went to an LMFAO concert when I was 21, and let's not go there. So
that's fine. We don't have
so
to go
much
there.
neon. So much neon. Yeah, so the thing about this was if you looked at the chest protector after all was said and done, it was actually broken. And it looked like there were some edges that were straying out. Because if you look at how the ball was sitting, I think that some of the edges of the stray from that chest protector were actually kind of, if you will, stabbing the ball and kind of making it, so I don't think there was any sort of foreign substance. You really have to have like something intense to have. A ball's not super, super light,
No,
especially
not.
when you're thinking it from just, floating that way. So I really think that it was just the way the chest protector kind of stabbed the ball and made it stand in place. I don't think it was anything sort of like there was cork stuck in his chest piece or whatever it was. It wasn't anything crazy.
He's corking his chest piece.
Memory foam.
I made that. I was like, wow, it's probably an illegal chess piece. You never really know. I don't know, but it was just, it is what it is, and it's not always gonna be perfect. But it was a really fun video to watch. I definitely was entertained.
How illegal can a chess piece be?
Well, that's
though?
what I was
What
gonna
are you
say.
putting
For
in
some
there?
reason, baseball has always
Right,
been the one
that's
sport that does something like that.
I could see that though. Like if I know how a lot of like John Lester is the king of his snot ball, and if you're trying to put a foreign substance somewhere, you're really going to put it like right in front of on the chest. That makes no sense to me. Like of all places, like I mean, and maybe like you could do a transfer from. This is very CSI of me. You could do a
CSI,
transfer.
Very much so.
Yeah, very CSI. Yeah, I watch a lot of that show, but it's kind of like you never really know. But I think if you look at it after it was done, it looked like it just kind of broke. And there was an extra piece that was kind of like darting out, if you will, and I think just kind of stabbed the ball in place. I think that's ultimately.
Well, that's interesting. I'll definitely have to keep an eye on that. But in regards to the potential of catchers putting something on their chest piece, whether he did or he didn't, is that something that is legal? If a catcher wanted to be like, "Hey, I'm going to put pine tar on my chest protector," can they do that?
From what I am aware of, no. The only quote foreign substance you're allowed to have is the chalk on the mound and your spit and your snot. But I
Gross,
don't know
but yes.
So they call it the spitball.
So gray area with it's so gray area with what these guys do. I don't really think a lot like certain things. This is really its own kind of show in and of itself. I think these guys lose a lot of arm strength towards the end of their career. They have to do everything they possibly can, but I think there's a difference between using spit and like maybe some Vaseline compared to like doping up on steroids. There's a huge difference in my opinion, but
100%.
Sometimes they need all the help they can get. But at the moment, putting pine tar on your chest piece is certainly frowned upon. Yes.
I put pine tar in my microphone. That's why I'm able to grip it so well usually when we're having conversations. But Jessica,
well, you don't make any jokes, so you don't have to drop the mic, so it's perfect.
Yes.
Oh.
Hey, Jessica, we have jokes. Okay, we've got jokes.
Maybe you should watch the show more, Jessica. You know that we're actually funny people.
Yeah, I do watch the show only when I'm on though, because that's when I know it's going to be a good one.
Oh, she's not wrong.
I mean, she's really
She's not wrong.
She's not wrong.
Great.
She's
great.
very right. All right, Jessica. Well, we got to let you run, but we appreciate you swinging by real quick to give us a quick little holla. Where can people continue to find your exceptional social media network and your writing? Because clearly you break stories before we even think about talking about them.
Well, obviously, I break extremely important stories like balls getting stuck to catcher's gear and Tim Tebow's bombs, but you can follow me on Twitter at KleinschmidtJD, and then, of course, follow me on Facebook where I post all my work as well.
You're the best, Jess. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
All right, there goes Jessica Kleinschmidt here on Halftime real fast because I know we are horrendously out of time. You know what really just makes me mad, Tanner?
You know what? Yes, I do.
Do you?
I was going to say something else, but I probably shouldn't.
What?
My jokes can be edgy at times, so I'll just
Which
not
sometimes
say it.
isn't the worst.
I
You
just-
made a freaking Bruce
You know
Jenner
what
joke.
really bounces my balls, Baxter? LaVar Ball. LaVar freaking Ball.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Did you know, Tanner?
I did, because we talked about it before the show
That
today.
white
but go-
people are too slow.
White people apparently are too slow. White guys, mind you. He did say white guys.
No, just white people.
So here's the quote from LaVar Ball really quick. LaVar Ball must have been, Baxter brought up a good point. He said he must have been sitting at home and said, I haven't said something totally ridiculous and controversial in at least a couple days, so LaVar Ball came out and said the reason UCLA lost was because the white guys are too slow. Here's the direct quote. Realistically, you can't win no championship with 3 white guys because the foot speed is too slow. Now, here's the deal, okay? These 3 white guys who are the 3 of the 4 best players on the team,
right,
including Lonzo, who is part of the 4.
Right.
But these 3 white guys, Thomas Welsh, Bryce Alfred, and TJ Leaf, they all scored more points than Lonzo Ball did in the game that UCLA lost. So Lonzo Ball was getting burnt left and right, and quite frankly, TJ Leaf is also a first-rounder. So
yeah, TJ Leaf is declared for the draft. He'll be a one and done as well.
I don't think those 3 guys are even close to the problem.
Here's the thing that irks me the most out of all of the situation is that LaVar is basically insinuating the fact that white people are slow, which is great and all, but last time I checked...
I mean, I'm slow. I'm a perfect example of it.
I ran a 4.840,
white
LaVar.
guys, okay? I know some very fast white guys.
I know a lot of really fast white guys. Here's the kicker, though, in all this, if you didn't know this. LaVar Ball's wife is white, which means his kids are half white.
Which would explain why... who was it? Basically,
Lonzo?
Well, yeah, which would explain why Lonzo Ball got burnt and toasted and fried.
Because he's too white.
In the tournament. He's half white.
He's too white. He had a disadvantage from the start.
Here it is right here. This is a tweet on Twitter by @FadeToBlack_10. LaVar Ball talking about the white boys on UCLA like his son wasn't the one who got grilled, cooked, sautéed, flambéed by De'Aaron Fox. LOL. Which is so funny.
I love it.
So funny.
I absolutely love it. So, LaVar, as we like to say here on Halftime, shut it, LaVar, because we ain't got time for you and your stupid, just ridiculousness saying that these white guys are too slow. I mean, I would understand if Lonzo was the one that scored 35, 40 points and be like, oh, yeah, man, if the rest of the team would have helped you out, like maybe you'd have done. But no, his kid was 4th on the overall scoring for this game. You have no business saying stuff like this. You now make yourself look like a racist, which maybe he is. I don't know. But at the same time, you now have completely burned any other possible thing that you could to semi-even be considered a normal person.
I just think it's ridiculous because, meanwhile, while all of this nonsense is happening, Lonzo Ball has to sit here and say, I'm going to get drafted, and some teams aren't going to pick me because of my dad. And at some point, Lonzo has to say, Dad, shut up. You are hurting me, you are hurting my career, and you are turning me into the Johnny Manziel, and you're the one going money, money, money. You know what I mean? So it's ridiculous. I mean, I understand that Lonzo respects his father, and he knows that you don't speak against your father's word. But here's the deal. Lonzo's about to make millions of dollars, and LaVar Ball is not. So if you want him to be a part of that, that's fine, but ultimately Lonzo Ball is the captain on this magic carpet ride. Okay?
Right, exactly.
So he needs to tell LaVar to shut up, stop making ignorant comments, and mind his own business, quite frankly. He can manage from behind the scenes, but do you really think the Ball brothers really want a reality television show?
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They're still teens. They're still kids.
Exactly.
They're trying to be pro NBA players, and they're not even in college yet. And his dad's telling the world that they're the second coming of Michael Jordan.
No.
I'm not saying they're better than Michael Jordan even.
No, they're not. They're
That's
absolutely
ridiculous.
not. It just doesn't make any sense to me, and frankly, it's embarrassing if you're LaVar Ball and you're anything to do with the Ball family as well. Jessica on Facebook says, these 3 white guys, ... sounds like the beginning of a bad joke.
It is, yeah.
It is. Lorenzo, LaVar, and LaMelo walk into a bar, and LaVar is there and says,
well,
give me a shoe contract.
Give me a shoe contract, $1 billion. Here's the deal. This was recent. I believe it was, within the last 24 hours, this comment. So there will be media sources after media sources after media sources. I'm sure like ESPN, Fox Sports, whoever will get more comments from LaVar on this ridiculous.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Ridiculous comment.
People will ask, well, why did you say the comments? Why did you make the comments? Well, because.
And then he's going to say he'll come up with something that's covers it up or whatever. But
right.
So I'm sure we'll talk about it again. But it's ridiculous. So yeah, let me read
Unbelievable.
Let me read this quote one more time,
please.
Realistically, you can't win no championship with 3 white guys because the foot speed is too slow. Oh, my God. Sometimes I just give up.
You should.
Unbelievable.
It just doesn't make any sense because we're already giving this way more news time than it needs to because I think this is just childish, immature, and downright stupid.
I agree. I agree.
Well, Tanner Burke,
there we go.
I hate to end on such a weird note, but I feel like we need to because
we need to. It's Friday. We just need to call it.
We need to go get a drink. It's National Beer Day. Go celebrate National Beer Day.
Yes.
Look at that. Finish my beer before Tanner did.
The Masters is up and running in full force. My dad is currently flying down there right now. He sent me a picture of him in the airplane, which will be the only picture I get from him either on his way or at the Masters because, of course, they don't allow photography or cell phones. It's like going to your friend's party who does not allow cell phones at your party, and he tells you to put it in a basket when you walk in. That's the Masters. So imagine that.
Yeah. Sounds like a good time.
Sounds like a great time. Anyways, happy Friday.
Happy Friday, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Find us on BrewSportsNet.com. Find us on the social media universe on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at BrewSportsNet, at Banner Turk, at Baxter Colburn. You guys are the best. We'll see you back here again on Monday at noon Eastern, 11 Central for halftime. Coming up next, it's Happy Hour at 5, 4 Central with myself and Grant Coppersmith. Enjoy the Masters. Enjoy Tim Tebow. And darn right, enjoy your day. Drink a beer for us. It's National Beer Day.
LaVar Ball.
Have a good day. We'll see you guys.